We have got a lot of breaking news to get to this morning.
We do.
We start with what's happening right now in Korea. It is a historic meeting. Kim Jong-un has become the first North Korean leader to visit the South since the Korean War. The two countries say that there will be no more war.
And Greg Palkot is live in Seoul, South Korea with the very latest. Greg.
Cheryl, we've been watching these events all day. Yeah, they are historic. They are amazing. And if the words become reality, yes, it is an important day here, not just for Korea, but for entire global security. But that's the key thing. Can these words become reality? We watched in a joint statement with Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, and Moon Jae-in, the president of South Korea, and I'll just rattle down a few of the lines. Their goal together is the complete denuclearization of the peninsula, and that means North Korea. They say they want to enjoy peace and progress without the fear of war. They say, let us not repeat the past mistakes, and there have been a whole lot of horrendously deadly mistakes in Korea. They also indicated that they would work towards achieving the end of the Korean War. Remember, there's no peace treaty after 68 years since the start of the war. Again, generalities, positive, but we were waiting for a little bit more detail. Didn't get that there. Maybe too soon. Let's recap the events of the day. It started with we're seeing for the first time since the Korean War, a North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, actually cross over from North into South Korea. That happened along the DMZ. I've seen personally Kim Jong-un several times. I've never seen him so assured, confident, maybe even a little bit playful. He reviewed a traditional Korean honor guard. One commentator did note that he made a point of not looking into the eyes of the South Korean military, so there is still that military background. He wrote an inscription in the guest book of the Peace House where the talks would be held, with his own pen, I might add, writing about an age of peace, an historic start for an age of peace. So right at the beginning of these sessions, he was looking that way. There were two lengthy sessions in that conference hall. My insiders in the South Korean government said that most of the day, most of the agenda had been decided, but what hadn't been decided is what exactly to say about denuclearization. It is so sensitive, and of course, that's what the U.S. is watching. The White House issued a comment saying they're pleased with the progress of these discussions, and they're having their own discussions, because remember, all of this is a lead up to a meeting between President Trump and Kim Jong-un, maybe in just a couple weeks, and so they are looking minutely at what has been said at this, that they could then follow up on. Again, we got this final statement just about 20 minutes ago. The rest of the agenda here is a reception, a dinner, perhaps we'll have a toast, final comments. But I think overall, what people will pull from this is good chemistry between these two people, the 65-year-old South Korean president, 33-year-old North Korean leader, saying exactly the right things. I'm sure you'll find analysts saying, we wish there was more detail. We wish there was more comprehensive discussion of how these things will be implemented.
Sure.
But they did say there'll be another meeting. President of South Korea saying that he will go north this fall. So probably this means the beginning of the process.
Greg, that's good.
Guys.
But, you know, I want to ask you about these reports that have come out in the last 48 hours that there was actually a blast at a North Korean nuclear site, and that may be one of the reasons that Kim Jong-un is now coming down to the negotiating table with the South Koreans and with the United States is because his nuclear program is frankly in shambles right now.
Shambles, I'm not too sure about that, but you're right. In the past couple of days, there have been fresh reports that the nuclear test site that North Korea has been using is actually defunct, that it collapsed last fall during the last testing of a nuclear device. They couldn't use it anyway. It was dangerous. So the past weekend, when Kim Jong-un came out with a statement that along with stopping the testing of the missiles, they would close down a nuclear test site, it came out in the days later that, hey, there wasn't anything shut down. So that shows how difficult these negotiations will be, but it's all part of the process.
Thank you for that, Greg.